So I used to be someone who used to say, I hate my life almost daily. I had a hard time getting out of bed to work my summer job in an ice cream shop just because I was so depressed. I would panic anytime there was some sort of change or transition in my life because I hated change so much. Now I'm a person who steps outside and is so happy to see a pink flower on a tree because it reminds me of my favorite song. I'm someone who feels happy and excited and grateful about my life. Someone who thinks life is beautiful and doesn't hate it. I'm someone who embraces change because I know it is the start of a beautiful new beginning. I'm now someone who comes on social media to inspire and help people with their mental health. My name is Jackie. I'm a mental health coach for entrepreneurs, and here's how I got here. My initial onset of anxiety and depression happened when I first started college. Living in someplace new with a bunch of strangers was a total culture shock for me, and I mentally could not handle it. I began to experience intense anxiety and depression, and I had no idea what it was. I would go home most weekends to seek comfort and normalcy and count down the days until the semester ended. Until I started dating Gennaro, my now fiance, who gave me some hope. Even in a happy and healthy relationship, I continued to struggle with anxiety and depression throughout college. The constant transitioning between home and school made it really difficult. Anxiety doesn't like change. Weeks before transitioning from either home to school, I would become so anxious with anticipation. Meanwhile, as soon as I got to the place I was transitioning to, I was perfectly fine. I tried to hide my mental struggles from my family as long as I could so I didn't seem broken, different, or crazy. I even saw a counselor at college and hid this from them. I just didn't want them worrying about me or seeing me in a different light. But the summer before my final year of college, my mental health was at an all-time low and I really couldn't hide it anymore. Like I said earlier, I didn't even want to get out of bed to work my summer job in an ice cream shop. I remember being out to dinner with some friends and trying so hard not to cry because I was just having such a hard time. It was really hard. I cried a lot that summer until my mom encouraged me to seek help for my mental health. This began to get it under control, which is ironic considering how afraid I was of telling her about my mental health struggles. Anyways, I was eventually prescribed antidepressants, which changed the world for me. I had a feeling that medication would help me, but I was so afraid to pursue it. I was afraid that I'd be drugging myself and I didn't want to become dependent on them. I had no idea on how to go about getting them. My mom suggested I talk to my doctor, who helped me with the process. If you're in this boat and you have no idea where to turn, I highly suggest talking to your therapist, psychiatrist, or doctor. I was so afraid to talk to my doctor, thinking that she would judge me, but this was my anxiety causing drama once again. Even though our anxiety tends to be dramatic, I do believe there is still a stigma around medication, which I want to address. I come from a small town that never really talked about this stuff, so I was afraid that I'd be less than for being on antidepressants. I feel like a lot of us probably have fears of putting something new into our bodies, but I'm telling you, it greatly improved my quality of life. If you needed to take medication to make your kidneys fully function, wouldn't you? The same should go for your brain. Anxiety and depression is caused by chemical imbalance in our brain, so there's nothing to be ashamed of in treating this. Anyways, my mental health got a lot better once I graduated college. I graduated with a dual degree in psychology, further enhancing my passion and knowledge of mental health. Once the constant transitioning from college to home ended, I began to settle in and really enjoy my life at home. Even in the 2020 COVID lockdown, my mental health remained pretty strong. At this time, I discovered spirituality, which really helped. However, my mental health began to decline again when I entered the corporate world for the first time. I realized I absolutely did not want to spend my life there. The thought of spending my life behind a desk, doing work that wasn't directly helping others, was super depressing. I was craving a lot more freedom and fulfillment, but I had no idea how to do that. I needed out. I even asked an old college professor for some guidance, who ended up offering me a position as an adjunct professor. I almost took this job before trying a new position at my corporate job. Around the same time is when I discovered coaching and began my life coaching certification. Discovering this new sense of purpose and drive really helped my mental health. Sidetrack, I decided that this would be a really good time to get off my antidepressants. Disclaimer, if you are thinking about getting off any sort of medication, make sure to consult your doctor first. I did not, and this did not work in my favor. When I tried to get off my antidepressants, I ended up spending a lot of time crying in the bathroom at work because I began to struggle again. I was so anxious for my business to get off the ground and help me escape the 9 to 5, even though I was barely getting started. So I decided to get back on my medication, and real talk, I am still on it today. I do hope to get off them one day, but right now a low dosage is what works for me. So I'm going to keep that rolling and consult a doctor next time I think about getting off of them. Anyways, my business changed everything for me. It gave me a new sense of purpose and fulfillment, something to work towards. It gave my life a brand new meaning. I found a way to help people while doing work that's extremely fulfilling and work that I'm really good at. But it also caused a whole new set of insecurities to come to the surface. Eventually, this impacted my mental health. I was so impatient to start seeing the results, to get new clients, to make the full time income in my business. I became sort of desperate at one point. I had constant thoughts of, when is this going to happen for me? Why is this happening for other people on Instagram and not me? When is my next client coming? What if I don't have what it takes to make it in business? Luckily, I've learned and worked to tackle thoughts like this. Of course, I still have my moments, but overall, it is fairly minimal. I've learned to do so by working with coaches as well as developing my own toolkit to cope with my mental health while running my business. Doing things like meditation, customized scripting, tapping, confronting my anxious thoughts, and arguing why they aren't true are some processes that really help me. Reprogramming my subconscious mind towards certainty of success while living in my purpose has been a total game changer. Also, if I'm anxious, I listen to my body and give it what it needs, which is usually a comfort TV show, a walk, or a meditation, or even a break from my business. These are highly underrated. Knowing how to deal with the mindset hurdles of running a business is a game changer. It has allowed me to feel more confident, grounded, and certain of my success as a business owner. The fulfillment that my business gives me makes my mental health so much better. It gives me something to look forward to and be fulfilled by every single day. I've made a lot of progress, but I'm certainly not perfect. I do have days of feeling low energy, anxious, and wanting a break. But when I do struggle with it, I now know how to manage it instead of shutting down. Overall, I'm very happy and excited about my life. I'm so happy and grateful that I get to run a business surrounding mental health, which is so near and dear to my heart. I am so grateful to be a mental health coach for entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for listening to my mental health story. Please let me know in the comments below if any parts of my story resonated with you. Always feel free to reach out to me if you need someone to talk to about mental health. My number one goal with my business is to make others struggling feel less alone, and that includes you. Sending you so much love. Bye.